Hi guys, it's Amy with A2ZStamping.com, and today I wanted to talk about all our different adhesives that Stampin' Up offers and what you might use them all for. I know when I was first new to Stampin' Up, I wasn't quite sure what all the different products were used for. The adhesives can be found on page 202 and 203 of the annual catalog. So down here there's 6 adhesives and then 4 more up at the top, and then they give you this sort of chart that tells you what they suggest you use them for. So let's talk about them. Okay, so the first one listed, actually I'll pull this down. The first one listed here is the Fast Fuse adhesive. It looks like this. So this adhesive, it comes like this. It's 13.1 yards, and then you can get refills. They look like this. They just come like this. This pops apart, and then you throw away the, if I was finished with this, I would throw this part away and then I would just pop the new one right on. So really simple. The refill does actually come with more. The refill comes with 21.9 yards, so it's more than double. Is that more than double? No, almost double, not more than double. It's almost double of what you get in the original one. So this is a really good value. So Fast Fuse is a really strong adhesive. So you would want to use this on, well, at least I use it when I'm putting together 3D projects like boxes and things like that. Something that I really want to stay together. Now Fast Fuse does have a little bit of a learning curve because it doesn't, you don't use it like you would snail adhesive. So when you first want to get it going, I just kind of run my fingers down until I feel the adhesive right here. And then let me just grab my grid paper. When you're using Fast Fuse, when you go down and you either jerk to the right or to the left. And you kind of want to alternate both because you want to rip the adhesive. So I will go down, over. You see that long piece didn't come off right even, so I want to scroll it back up till I get to adhesive. So down and over, there we go. And I just want to kind of break it down and over, and it breaks right off. So this is really easy to use, but this is really strong permanent adhesive. So that's what you'd want Fast Fuse for. All right, next in here is the snail adhesive, and that's this guy right here. I love this. This is your adhesive that you're going to use most of the time. When you buy the snail adhesive, it comes with 13.1 yards, and then there are refill kits available. So when your adhesive runs out, you simply pop it apart again, throw away the one that's finished, get the new one, pop it right, you pull the cardboard out, pop it right on. It's that simple. The refills do also come with 13.1 yards, so it's the same thing. These are really affordable. Let's see here, $4.50 for each of these, which I think is a pretty good deal, and I find that 13.1 yards lasts actually a really long time. Okay, and that's what I use for any time I'm adhering cardstock to cardstock, things like that. All right, next is the fine tip glue pen. That would be this right here. So this comes in, it's just a 1 ounce bottle, and you would use this for when you need to stick little tiny embellishments to something. So maybe you're trying to stick a rhinestone or a bead. Or if you have a die like this, I showed the other day this die, this is from the Starlight Thinlits, and you couldn't just run your snail adhesive over this because too much adhesive would come through. So you would use something like this, and you would take the lid off, and then see there's a little needle right here, and then you would put your glue on, and then right away you want to put the lid back on. You don't want to leave this without the lid. You want to make sure you get the needle right back in there. It needs to have the needle in, otherwise it will get clogged really quickly. This is a really strong glue. Sometimes some people have noticed that theirs does get clogged. You can, if you poke the needle through, sometimes that works, or you can just soak it in like a cup of really hot water, and sometimes that works to get it unclogged. All right, so that's the fine tip glue pen. All right, next is the multi-purpose liquid glue. I love this stuff. So this is, it's actually just Tombow glue, multi-purpose glue, and you can see mine's really dirty because I use it a ton. So there's 2 ends to this. There's a fine tip pen end, which looks like this. So it's sorry, I always peel the adhesive off. I'm not real good about cleaning mine up when I'm done. Okay, so this is like a fine tip end. So again, if you're wanting to put something fine tip, but the cool thing about it is there's a broad tip end too. And so if you're doing something really big, like you want to put a lot of glue on something, you would use this end. I like to store this one upright like this so that my glue stays down. I use the fine tip end the most. So I like to store it like this so that the glue is always at the bottom. This glue does come out white. It reminds me of like Elmer's school glue, but it dries clear, and this is a very strong adhesive. You get, how much do you get? Let's see, you get is it 0.9 ounces in a bottle? I think that's what you get. Yep, 0.9 ounces. It is acid free. I think all of our adhesives are. And, but I find that this lasts a really long time. When I make those paper rosettes, I can put this on the bottom and then squeeze the rosettes together and hold it for, seriously, 15 seconds. And this holds it all on then. Love this multi-purpose glue. All right, next we have the mini glue dots. And those come like this. They're the 3/16 inch mini glue dots. And then the mini glue dots, you get 300 in a package. And these are great to use when you're just trying to stick a small embellishment to something. So if you're wanting to stick a button on something or a, well, anything small like that, these work really well. I also find that the glue dots work really well on our glimmer paper. The snail adhesive doesn't work as well on the glimmer paper. And so I like to use glue dots because I find anything, the glue dots stick really well to the glimmer paper. All right, next is the tear and tape adhesive. That's this one right here, and it's exactly like it says. You can just tear it like that. So one side is adhesive, and then the other side has this coating on it. And let me stick it on here to show you. So you would tear off however long of a piece you need, stick it on, and then I like to give it a good rub, and then you just peel off the end, and then you have adhesive. You can't see that anymore, but now this is a strip of adhesive. So tear and tape works really well on projects where you can't, it's going to be too difficult to get your snail adhesive in there. So a lot of 3D projects, this is the case. So boxes, things like that. Sometimes it's hard to get your snail adhesive in there or your fast fuse. So this works really well. And this is a really strong adhesive. So I use this a lot of times on my 3D projects. And let's see, in the tear and tape, you get 27 yards. It's a ton. This will last you a really long time. All right. Next, we have the dimensionals. So we have our regular dimensionals. You all know I love these. These are every crafter's dream. It just pops something up on your project. You always need a ton of these. I have tons of these everywhere. I find the little papers everywhere in my house. I love them. You get 300 of these in a package. So it's a lot that comes in a package. 300 goes a long way, and they're only $4. So I pretty much add a pack on to every time I place an order with Stampin' Up. All right, and now we have brand new mini dimensionals. Genius, right? Before we were cutting these up sometimes because if your thing you were sticking to was very small, these were too big, so you had to cut them up, and I don't like doing that to my scissors. So now we have the mini dimensionals, and you guys, seriously, these come with 720. I mean, that will last you a really long time. And for something like this, the mini dimensionals are perfect because I can fit them right in these little tiny, right in these little tiny spaces, and I could pop this right up on my page. So I'm loving these new mini dimensionals. All right, right here we have the foam adhesive strips. That's these guys. They come in a package just like this. And I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but each one is 1/8 of an inch wide, and then they're 9 inches long. You can cut them apart with scissors, that's fine. So what would you want to use these for? Well, and you get 10 yards, I think 10 yards total. So looks like you get 2 packages, and there's a whole bunch along there. Can you see? So if you're making something like shaker cards or something where you want to create a border and then put a top, this would keep everything that's inside within. So these are kind of neat. I think mostly just for shaker cards or something like that. That was what you would use these for. One thing I forgot to mention about the tear and tape, I did tell you get 27 yards in this, but it's 1/4 inch wide, in case you were wondering. Okay, and finally, the last thing in here are the multi-purpose adhesive sheets. And they come like this, in a package like this. Excuse me. You get 12 6x12 sheets. Okay, so these are really cool. It's just a sheet. Let me see if I can pull one out. It's basically a giant sticker sheet. Okay, so here's one that you can see I already punched 2 holes. So it works well in the punch because I wanted a perfect circle. But you can also take a thinlet or a framelit or whatever you're wanting to do. So let me grab out one right here. I know exactly which one I want to show you. This one right here. This is the new, what do we call this? This is the Happy Birthday Thinlet. Okay, good name for it. And what it is it's this guy right here. It says Happy Birthday, okay? Turn it that way so you can see it. Now, this is really cool. It cuts it out, so on any color cardstock, you could cut out the word Happy Birthday. However, this would kind of be a gluing nightmare if all you had was snail adhesive. So I can cut this out, and this would be a good time to use either my multi-purpose glue or my fine tip glue pen, and I could go around and do that around each thing. Or what I can do is I can cut down my sheet. So I figure out the size of this, and then I would cut a piece of cardstock, the exact size I'm going to do. You peel off the back and adhere your cardstock to it. Then I would run this through my Big Shot on this. So when I'm done, my cutout image already has the adhesive on the back. I would just have to peel this, right? See, it peels apart quite easily. And then I have a sticker sheet. So these are really cool to have if you're working on bigger projects or things like this. And these, I think these are brand new. So we're just starting to play around with these. All right. So that is all of our adhesives that we currently offer in the what year is this? 2017 to 2018 annual catalog. Now you'll see there's one more thing listed in the catalog, and that's the silicone craft sheet. This is good to have if you're going to be using a lot of adhesive because it won't stick to it. So if you want a surface where you could work on, if you're going to be gluing a ton of stuff, you might be interested in this because your glue will come right off of that. This is also good to have the silicone craft sheet if you're wanting to work with any of our paste, any of the embossing paste. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and check me out at A2ZStamping.com. Thanks guys. Bye.